Season 2, Episode 1. The North remembers after Ned's death. The Seven Kingdoms are at war. Robb Stark holds Jaime Lannister prisoner and demands justice from King's Landing. Tyrion arrives to serve as hand of the king, trying to control Joffrey's cruelty. Across the sea, Daenerys struggles to keep her people alive in the Red Waste, her baby dragon still too small to fight on Dragonstone. Stannis Baratheon claims the Iron Throne, backed by the mysterious Red Priestess, Melisandre. Meanwhile, at the Wall, Jon Snow and the Knights watch journey beyond the Wall to investigate rumors of wildlings gathering and darker threats rising. Winter is coming faster than anyone realizes. The North remembers, and the real game has just begun. Season 2, Episode 2. The Nightlands. As war spreads across Westeros, Tyrion tightens his grip on King's Landing, exposing spies and plotting against Cersei. Beyond the Wall, Jon Snow discovers Craster's horrifying secret, sacrificing his own sons to the White Walkers. On Dragonstone, Stannis sends his loyal smuggler Davos to recruit allies, while Melisandre tempts him with dark magic. Meanwhile, Theon Greyjoy returns home to the Iron Islands, hoping for his father's support, but finds only scorn. Across the narrow sea, Daenerys and her few surviving followers desperately search for shelter as her dragons grow ever so slightly stronger. In the shadows of Westeros, assassins, spies, and secrets are on the move. The night is dark and full of terrors. Season 2, Episode 3. What is dead may never die. The Game of Thrones only grows bloodier. Tyrion outmaneuvers Cersei by planting false secrets and exposing her spies, proving he's smarter than anyone. At King's Landing on the Iron Islands, Theon chooses loyalty to his father, Balon Greyjoy, betraying the Starks who raised him beyond the Wall. Jon Snow faces Craster's fury after uncovering the fate of Craster's sons. Meanwhile, Renly Baratheon hosts a tournament introducing Brienne of Tarth, a fierce warrior who wins a place in his Kingsguard. At Winterfell, Bran's prophetic dreams hint at wolves, darkness, and coming war. In this world, loyalty is deadly, betrayal is currency, and no one is truly safe. Want more bite-sized Game of Thrones power moves? Season 2, Episode 4. Garden of Bones. War rages across Westeros. Robb Stark wins a key victory, but struggles with the horrors of battle and meets a mysterious healer, Talisa. At King's Landing, Joffrey's cruelty explodes, humiliating Sansa and terrorizing the court. Across the narrow sea, Daenerys arrives at the gates of Qarth, only to be met with suspicion and deadly politics. Meanwhile, Arya, Gendry, and Hot Pie are captured and taken to Harrenhal, where they witness brutal tortures under the mountains. Reign of Terror. And at Dragonstone, Melisandre births a terrifying shadow assassin to carry out Stannis Baratheon's dark mission in a world ruled by blood and shadows. Trust no one. Season 2, Episode 5. The Ghost of Harrenhal. Westeros trembles as kings fall. Renly Baratheon is shockingly assassinated by his shadow creature, sending shockwaves through the realm. Catelyn Stark flees with Brienne of Tarth, forging a bond of loyalty and honor. In King's Landing, Tyrion learns of Wildfire stockpiles a deadly weapon to defend the city against Stannis. Across the narrow sea, Daenerys struggles For allies in Korth, where promises hide poison. Harrenhal, Arya gains a powerful secret ally, Jaqen H. Gar, who offers to kill 3 people for her death, moves in shadows and power slips through bloodied hands. Season 2, Episode 6. The old gods and the new. The war deepens across Westeros. Theon Greyjoy captures Winterfell, betraying the Starks and proving his loyalty to the Ironborn, but it comes at a bloody price. In King's Landing, a riot erupts against Joffrey, forcing the royal family to flee as chaos consumes the streets north of the Wall. Jon Snow ventures into wildling territory and captures Ygritte, but she's far from helpless. In Korth, Daenerys pleads for ships to take her army to Westeros, but when her dragons are stolen, she's left furious and vulnerable. Arya plays a dangerous game as Tywin Lannister's cupbearer and uses her second death wish with deadly results. In a land ruled by old gods and new kings, betrayal is the true religion. Season 2, Episode 7. Amon without honor. Westeros is unraveling, one betrayal at a time. In Winterfell, Theon Greyjoy hunts Bran and Rickon. After their escape, he returns with charred bodies. But are they really the Stark boys? Beyond the Wall, Jon Snow struggles to keep Ygritte as his captive, but she's turning the tables with wit, charm, and temptation. In King's Landing, Sansa experiences her first blood, and Cersei warns her a queen's life is full of suffering. At Harrenhal, Arya and Tywin continue their sharp verbal duels while chaos brews just beyond the walls. In Korth, Daenerys searches for her stolen dragons, only to find betrayal and a deadly trap set by the warlocks of the House of the Undying. And in the north, Jaime Lannister kills a cousin to escape, reminding us all honor means nothing to a lion in chains. Season 2, Episode 8. The Prince of Winterfell. The war for the Iron Throne is closing in. Theon Greyjoy holds Winterfell, but his confidence cracks, especially when his sister Yara arrives and mocks his rule. Robb Stark learns of betrayal in his camp from his own mother. Catelyn releases Jaime Lannister, hoping to trade him for her daughters. In King's Landing, Tyrion prepares for war. As Stannis Baratheon's fleet approaches, Cersei plays her own game, threatening Tyrion with a hidden hostage. Arya, still at Harrenhal, plots her escape with the help of her final death wish from Jake and Hagar. Jon Snow is taken prisoner by the wildlings, while Qhorin Halfhand plots a risky move to protect the Watch. Meanwhile, Daenerys refuses to leave Korth without her dragons, and steps into the terrifying House of the Season 2, Episode 9. Blackwater. Stannis Baratheon launches his all-out assault on King's Landing. The city braces for its bloodiest night yet. Tyrion Lannister takes command in the absence of King Joffrey, laying out a clever and deadly defense. As Stannis' ships approach, Tyrion lights the fuse and wildfire explodes across Blackwater Bay, engulfing Stannis' fleet in green flame. But the battle isn't over. Stannis leads a brutal charge at the gates, cutting through the carnage inside the Red Keep. Cersei prepares to take her own son's life rather than surrender. When all seems lost, Tywin Lannister arrives with the Tyrells and turns the tide of war. Tyrion is wounded. Joffrey takes the credit and the game continues. Season 2, Episode 10. Valar Morgulus. The dust settles after the Battle of Blackwater, and the Game of Thrones is far from over. Tyrion wakes up wounded, stripped of power. Tywin Lannister rides into court as Hand of the King, and Joffrey rewards his allies, including Sansa, then publicly dumps her. For Marjorie Tyrell, Robb Stark secretly marries Talisa, breaking his oath to the Freys. Meanwhile, Brienne and Haim continue their tense journey back to King's Landing. Theon gives a fiery speech but is betrayed by his own men. Winterfell burns Bran and Rickon escape into the wilderness. Arya says goodbye to Jaqen H'ghar, who gives her a coin and a phrase. Valar Morgulus, and across the narrow sea, Daenerys braves the House of the Undying, where she sees visions of her past and future and takes back her dragons in fiery style. Beyond the Wall, the White Walkers march and winter is truly coming.